So we have found the cost function j. Now we want the minimum value of this cost function. For finding the minimum value of this cost function, we are using the gradient descent algorithm. After finding the minimum value by using the gradient descent, at which w and b this minimum value is occurring, we take those w and b values and we substitute in our logistic regression model. Then our logistic regression model is ready to predict whether in the given image cat is there or not. What the gradient descent algorithm is really doing? It is initializing randomly for a different w and b values. After that, it is taking a small step, and these little steps, because it is decrementing by little steps, we are calling it is a gradually gradient descent. At one point, the minima is occurring. After that minima, the gradient descent will not decrement. So how practically it will happen, we will observe now. See, this is a curve. I have taken a point. To this point, if I want to calculate the differentiation here, in this graph, I have to take a small step along the line. Along the line, I have to take the small step. Then who will give the direction? That direction is given by the differentiation. Okay. How much step I have to take, whether 1 centimeter or whether it is 1 millimeter, how much step I have to take, that is given by the alpha. So the in which direction we have to move, along the curve I have to move. So along the how I know whether I am moving in the along the curve or not, then the slope of the curve is important to us. How I know about the slope of the curve? For that we use the differentiation. Now we have started at this point A and we want to move along the line. So I want slope of this curve. I am taking a tangent at this point. The slope of this tangent is the slope of this curve at this point. So the differentiation of this point. So I have taken the tangent, and the slope of this tangent is differentiation of cost function with respect to w. I have decremented one step, and after that again I am taking a tangent at this particular point. Now at this new point I am again taking the tangent, and I am finding the slope of that tangent, that is dz by dw. This is a iterative process. You observe here, we randomly initialized the w. After that, from the w we are subtracting this alpha dz by dw, until which point finally when we reach the minima. So here I am taking again tangent. What is the slope of this tangent, which is parallel to x-axis? The slope of this tangent is 0. Because the slope of the tangent is 0, so dz by dw term is 0. Now there is no next point, so w is equal to w. From here, the gradient descent have understood, I have found the minima. So this value is indicated as a minima, and the gradient descent takes at which value of w the minima is occurring. The gradient descent algorithm returns that w value. If you have a doubt why we have to select the point initially here, can I take the point initially on the left side also? Yes, you can take on the left side also. You observe here. Initially, we have considered our point here randomly. Then we are taking a small step here, and a small step, and small step. Finally, when it reaches the minima, then the slope of the curve is 0. So you can start at any point in the curve. You may start at this point or at this point. Randomly, you may start at any point. Our gradient descent algorithm has the capability, even though you start at any point, it has the capability to find the minimum. Now, as we discussed, our cost function j is depending on two parameters, w and b, because it is w transpose x plus b. We already know what x is. In the x, there are features are there. So we have to find the w and b for the minimum value of j. Just now we have discussed how to find the minimum value of w by using the gradient descent. We are using the same process for the b also to find the minimum of. So to find the minimum value of the cost function, at the minimum value of the cost function, we are taking the w and b. Now instead of calling the differentiation of j with respect to w, because here two parameters are there, we should use the partial differentiation. So w minus alpha dou j by dou w. Here b minus alpha dou j by dou b. When there are two terms, when there are two variables, then while differentiating with respect to the two variables, we are making one variable as a constant. That is what we call as a partial differentiation. You already know this is a y is equal to, if it is a y is equal to 3x line, the slope of line y is equal to mx, this 3 is the slope. By seeing that, we can tell. Now I am saying the slope of this line is the differentiation of this. How? Okay, you differentiate this 3a with respect to a. What is the answer? 3. Now we will take the numerical computation method. We start with a is equal to 2 and we increment a by a small fraction. So we have started a is equal to 2 and we have incremented with a small fraction 2.001. And we are seeing for a small change in a, what is the change I am getting in the f of a? That is what we are calling the differentiation. So d of f of a with respect to dA. For small changes in a, how the f of a is changing. So I have considered a is equal to 2 and I changed the a value to 2.001. Now when the a value is 2, f of a is equal to 6. Because I have changed the a value to 2.001, f of a is changed to 6.003. As we know already, the slope of this line can be calculated by using y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Here this is y2, this is y1, this is x2, and this is x1. So y2 minus y1, 6.003 minus 6, 0.003. x2 minus x1, 2.001 minus 2. So y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1, again we get the answer 3. So the slope of this line is the differentiation of this line. Now if we take a parabola, again I am taking, when we have this equation y is equal to x square, then the differentiation is 2x. Similarly, the differentiation of a square with respect to a is 2a. So we are numerically, we are checking whether this is matching or not. A is equal to 2 initially we have taken and we have incremented a to 2.001. For a is equal to 2, f of a is equal to 4. For a is equal to 2.001, f of a is equal to 4.004. Now, if we take y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1, then 4.004 minus 4 by 2.001 by 2, which is the result 4. This is the same result we are getting here because we have taken a is equal to 2. You can substitute in the a 2, then we will get the same result. So here in this curve, when there is a small change in a, when we are taking a small step, when we are taking a small step in a, then what is the change that is happening in the f of a? That's we are getting by using the differentiation of f of a with respect to a. We have some more examples. If we want the differentiation of a square, already you know mathematically this is 2a, a cube 3a square, logarithm 1 by a. So if we are, when we are doing the differentiation of log a with respect to a, that means when I change the a by a small fraction, what is the change in the logarithm? Now we have taken a cost function 3 into a plus bc. This is a random equation, or this is a random quadratic expression I have taken. So 3 into a plus bc. In this expression, I have three variables a, b, c. I am dividing this expression into three parts. First, I have taken u is equal to bc and v is equal to this u plus a and j is equal to 3v. So this is u and u plus a is v and 3 into v is j. That's how I have taken. Computationally, in the graphical manner, I am representing. I have taken a, b, c. The b and c multiplication is u. And if I add a plus u, then here it is a and here it is u. If I add these two, then I am getting v. Then if I multiply v with 3, then I am getting j. This is how we are calculating the value of j. Now I am interested how the a and b and c values are changing the j. Means I want to know what is dj by dA, dj by dB and dj by dC. For that, because there are three variables, I want to know the how each and every variable is affecting the cost function j, or any, as of now we have taken a small expression j. I am taking the partial differentiation. So this is dou j by dou a. So dou j by, to get the dou j by dou a, actually v is equal to a plus u and j is equal to 3v. First I have to differentiate, because the j is directly depending on the v, I have to differentiate with respect to v. And then v is equal to a plus u, I can differentiate dou v by dou a. So this is how we are finding the differentiation dou j by dou a. First I am differentiating dou j by dou v, and then I am differentiating dou v by dou a, how the v and a are related. For what changes in a, how the v is affecting. In the neural networks, we calculate the differentiations, we calculate the deltas by using this method, which is called as back propagation. We will take another example. Now I want dou j by dou b. So this dou j by dou b, if I want to calculate, first I have to calculate dou j by dou v, and then I have to calculate dou v by dou u, and then I have to calculate dou u by dou b. Remember, when we are calculating the dou j by dou v, with respect to dou j, I am calculating, so it is 3. Now, dou v by dou u, when we are calculating the dou v by dou u, as a is constant, its value is 1. Now, when we are calculating the dou u by dou c, dou u by dou b, as the constant, as c is constant, dou u by dou b is c. So, this is dou j by dou b is equal to 3c. So this is how we calculate the differentiation of how a, whenever I change the a, how j is being affected. Whenever I change the b, how j is being affected. In the neural networks, we will perform this by using the, here we are going back, one step back, and we are calculating, here one step back we are calculating. That's why in the neural network, we call this as a back propagation. So initially, for finding the values, you can observe here, we have used the forward propagation, means we have taken the a here. From this, we have calculated the value. For finding the value of j, we have considered the forward propagation. But to find the differentiation, derivatives, how the a is affecting the j, we are going for the back propagation. These terminologies will be useful to us when we are discussing the neural networks.